Thursday night or Saturday night. Because usually I'll do the morning commute on the way to work. Well, like for instance, today there was no work, so I didn't do one this morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one possibly tomorrow morning, just to, anybody that didn't see tonight. And then after that, they will get back on the, just resuming the regular schedule. But for any basketball fans out there, how's everybody feeling about this year? As you can see, I got my Sixers gear on, even though we do not play tonight. Come on, guys, you got me all tangled up. Sorry, I'm walking the dogs here. Yeah, so just watching, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about Victor Wembanyama, saying he's the MVP this year already. It's only 6 games into the season. People are talking about this dude being MVP. Now, I'm not saying Victor's not a great player, because 100% Victor Wembanyama is a great player. I'll never take that away from him. But when you watch, last night, for instance, he scored 9 points. Dude, you're 7'4", 7'5". They're saying he's 7'6". Either way, the way you move, the speed that he's moving at, his handle, the way Victor Wembanyama handles the ball is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I don't take nothing away from that dude. Fantastic. He's fun to watch, too. But to crown this man MVP, just saying, he's the MVP 6 games into the season. You are 7'4". There's no excuse you should have 9 points in a game. There's just not. I don't understand. He's a great player. But when you're 7'4" and the speed advantage, anybody that we've ever seen in the league, you're talking about anybody from Yao Ming, George Morrison, Manute Bol, anybody that's tall like that, that's lanky, the way that they move is usually a slow, sluggish, you know what I mean? They don't move as fluid as normal players that are within the 6'5" to 6'10" range. So to see somebody like Wembanyama that's able to move that way, it's fun to watch. But the fact of the matter is, when you're moving that way and you're only able to score 9 points, that's not as impressive as it should be. So for people to be crowning him MVP and saying that he's MVP already, 6 games into the season, I think that's doing a little too much. And then, for instance, Maxey on my team. Maxey's was leading the league in scoring until last night. But still, as of right now, he's 3rd in the league in scoring. Dude's dropping 40-point games left and right. He's no MVP yet. You can't say this when you're only 6 games into the season. There hasn't been enough basketball played for somebody to say that somebody's an MVP this early in the season. It's just Iran. Okay. Cool story, bro. But, yeah, I just think that you got to let a little bit more game be played before you're going to wind up going ahead and crowning somebody an MVP. And also, being as you can see, I'm a Sixers fan. How about them Eagles? Go Birds, baby. Go out and make a move for an outside linebacker with Miami today. Picked up Jair Alexander and another defensive back. Howie doing what he always does, going out there and making some moves. So, for a team that's already sitting in first place to just go ahead and start to load up on the defensive end of the ball, good move. Howie's the best best executive in the league. That's hands down. So, as far as the NFL, I like where we're at. And then as far as the NBA, I like where we're at there too. But like I said, it's just a little early in the season for anybody to be saying anything. When it comes to the NFL, I feel like we can talk about this now, because you're halfway through the year, and on top of being halfway through the year, the team that I'm talking about is a reigning defending Super Bowl champion. So I'll go ahead and give them their props for making their moves right around the trade deadline. Now we just got to see how they pan out. But as far as the NBA, with the Sixers have a little bit of an issue as far as like their guards. I think they're kind of in a little bit of a logjam with their guards, because you have Tyrese Maxey, you have VJ Edgecombe, you have Quentin Grimes, who's playing unbelievable, and then as of right now you have Jared McCain, who's coming off of the MCL, plus then he went ahead and injured the thumb and all that, but he's practicing and getting shots up. So when you have somebody that was reigning, not reigning, that was wrong, but somebody that was actually being praised as the rookie of the year last year before he got injured, when you have somebody like that coming back off of injury, of course you want to keep them. You want to keep them on the team. You want to keep them getting the shots up. But when you got Quentin Grimes shooting the way he's shooting, and then Tyrese Maxey shooting the way he's shooting, plus VJ Edgecombe, that's a number 3 pick. You're not going to take a number 3 pick out of the rotation to insert somebody that was a 20th pick and wasn't available to play. Like, nobody's going to say, okay, let me pull our number 3 rookie who's coming out of the gate fast. Let me pull him from the lineup and insert somebody that's not as good defensively. Probably a little bit better of a shooter, but not as explosive with the ball. Like, you can't just take Edgecombe out of the lineup and then replace him with Jared McCain. So in the end, looking at McCain, you're looking at the odd man out right there. And this was like I said, a rookie last year that was one of the favorites to win Rookie of the Year. So when you have somebody like that sitting on the back end of your lineup, if I was the Sixers, I would explore trading McCain. And I had this argument with somebody at work. They said that I was nuts. But when you have somebody like McCain, who's pretty much just sitting there, he's not playing as of right now. Your team's 5-1. He's an excellent shooter, which is what the league is looking for. Like, every team in the league is looking for better shooting. So you have somebody like that sitting on your bench, and you're also deficient at the power forward position. Why not go ahead, try to package McCain, maybe a pick or a second round pick, Barlow, somebody like that, get yourself a decent power forward, and then put Paul George back in his 3 position. Now you have Maxey, Edgecombe, Paul George playing the 3 where he should be playing. I mean, he's 6'8", 6'9", they give him, with shoes and all that. Okay. So you have somebody that's 6'9" that you're going to plug into the power forward position to play against people that's, 6'10", 6'11", and Paul George was never a power forward. So it's not really a position that I think that they should be thwarting them into, but that's what the Sixers are going to do. So I think what you do in this situation is you go ahead, you trade McCain, get yourself a decent power forward, you put Paul George back in the 3, and now you have Maxey playing the 1, you got Edgecombe running the 2, you get Paul George at a 3, you get a decent 4 with the trade for McCain. You got Embiid playing the 5 when he plays. You still got Drummond back at a Dembona. And then you go ahead and get yourself a good power forward. Now you're looking at at a set squad that could do some damage. I mean, obviously they're playing great right now, but it's going to take a little bit more than what they have. And like I said, their deficiencies at the power forward position. So you go ahead, use that Jared McCain piece as a trade asset with a pick. I said maybe a day 2 pick, and get yourself somebody that's like actually sufficient at the position. You do that and you get Paul George even playing 50%. You're looking at a really, really loaded team that could do some damage in the East, especially when you have New York. I mean, New York's playing decent, but they're not playing above and beyond their expectations. So I feel like you could still, baby, calm down, honey. But yeah, you could still, like when it comes to Jared McCain, he's what, 6'3", I believe. VJ Edgecombe 6'4", Quentin Grimes is 6'2" or 6'3", and Tyrese Maxey 6'1". That's 4 guards. None of them, and Grimes deserves a 6-man position right now. He's playing out of his mind. Grimes is going to get paid is what's going to happen. Quentin Grimes, I was actually going to buy a Quentin Grimes jersey. I decided against it, not because I don't want to support the dude, just there's a 0% chance he's coming back next year. Took $8 million for this year and said I'm going to bet on myself. And now he's killing it. He's absolutely killing it. And then when you have Embiid taking all that, basically all that attention towards him down on the block and in the post and everything, and then he's just kicking the ball out the Grimes and he's getting wide open looks, and he's hitting, I think, at like 40-something% right now. 16 assists last night and another win. That dude's going to get paid. And I don't see the Sixers being able to pay him because of the fact that what they're already paying Paul George and what they're already paying Joel Embiid. And then they just gave Max the max contract. So, and then eventually you're going to have Edgecombe coming out to get paid. I mean, I know he's a rookie and getting a little bit ahead of myself right now, but eventually he's going to have to get paid as well. And when that happens, there's not going to be any money left to pay McCain. So why not trade him now? Possibly look for a deal for Paul George if you can get somebody to take that contract. You can get somebody to take Paul George at this age for $50 million a year, and I will go ahead and do that fast because of the fact that the way the young guys are playing right now, that would really benefit them. You get somebody that can move a little faster, help them on the speed level, and that can rebound. You don't really need somebody that's going to be too proficient in scoring right now. Like as far as the 4 position, you just need somebody that can hit open shots, can defend, just there to rebound, pretty much box out and hit open looks. That's all you need. You don't need no all-star at that position. So if you can get somebody that plays like a Draymond Green, for instance, that's what you need. Like a Draymond type player. It doesn't need to score, can hit open looks, but is there to do everything else. He rebounds, plays good defense, and then he can pass the ball, hit open looks, as I said. So you get somebody like that to play the 4, and you can get rid of Paul George and actually move his contract. Maybe get a pick or 2 for him. The Sixers could do some damage in the East when you have, like I said, New York's not playing the way they should. Chicago is like one of the best teams in the East right now, which nobody saw that happening, but we play them tomorrow night. So we'll get a little bit more of a... Stop yapping, bro. Negative, buddy. But, like I said, I don't see New York going nowhere. I don't see Chicago going nowhere. Who else? Cleveland looks okay. but not great. Everybody else is pretty much hurt. So Milwaukee looks like they look like Milwaukee of last year. They don't really have, Miles Turner is not something that's going to transform your whole roster, so not concerned with Milwaukee. Orlando made that Desmond Bane trade, and that doesn't look like it's really moving the needle too much for Orlando either, so I really don't see anybody that's in the East right now that could actually, you could say they're a clear front runner to take the East. Not one. If there's any teams out there in the East that somebody thinks is guaranteed to make it to the finals, I would really like to hear it. The Hornets are actually playing decent right now, but too young. Detroit don't look great. They looked way better last year. So I just want to see who in the East is actually going to be able to step up and take the Sixers out when in the beginning of the year nobody even gave Philly a chance. Everybody used the same thing. Embiid's old. He's not going to play. Can't count on Paul George. Well, we ain't had neither one of them play full strength yet, and they're winning games. So you put an MVP level center back into the equation with a forward that's, even if you get Paul George at 50%, that's proficient enough to be able to go out there and do what we need done in that position, just to let our guards get the shots off. We're the highest scoring team in the NBA right now. So you put Paul George in that lineup, and now defenses have to worry about him instead of having Dominic Barlow or Trendon Watford or somebody like that. Now you have to worry about Paul George. I'm telling you, this can get scary for teams in the East. I just want to see, when it comes playoff time, who's going to be healthy. That's always been our issue. And I just think that if we can just get the team to just be 75% healthy going into the playoffs, it could get scary for the East. Now the West is a whole different story. But let's just get there. Let's just get there. It's a good time to be a Philly sports fan right now. Don't get me wrong. Philly's let me down. But the team that beat us just went ahead and won a World Series, so can't say that they didn't play great. And then you have the Flyers, who I really don't pay too much attention to. You got the Sixers sitting at first. I'm not worried about them. Washington just lost a quarterback. Not worried about them. And the Giants just lost pretty much their whole team. Their number one receivers down. Their running backs down. So not worried about them. So that's a clear cut, I think, division championship at least. So now it's just about keeping the team rolling at all cylinders going into the playoffs. Like I said, getting Jair Alexander, throwing him in the back. And we just got the pass rusher from Miami, Phillips, and then anybody else for the safety position as well. So let's just see how these players go ahead and move. But as of right now, I think Philly's looking really good. And I don't see nobody in the conference that's proving us wrong. We got a huge litmus test coming up with the Packers. I think we smoked them. Anybody feels different, feel free to let me know. But who's the best in the NFL right now? Overall. Huh? Somebody let me know in the comments. Who's the best in the NFL? Buffalo looks pretty good. Kansas City looks pretty good. Well, Patrick Mahomes looks pretty good. Let me rephrase that. Kansas City didn't look great. Patrick Mahomes had a bad last game, though. But aside from that, he's playing MVP level. You have Dak playing MVP level, but everybody that's playing MVP levels, teams aren't winning. And the ones who are just playing decent football, what they say, what do they call them? Game managers. Well, the game managers seems like they're the ones that are actually winning games. So well, getting ready to head in, guys. So like I said, I'm gonna start doing lives Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, and then I'm gonna do Tuesday and Thursday, Saturday nights for now on, and then Sundays I'm gonna take off. Sunday's the day of praise. So you can go ahead, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good one.